I'm Elias, but you can call me Elias, and I'm here to tell you lies about episode 5 of season 3. If you know what I'm talking about. I'm literally confused right now. What is going on with this TV show? Because we have new couples, we need to form this new poll. We need to see more reactions. What do you think? So far, new couples right here. So, what I really think about this episode 5, the theme, like the pool, the party, charity party or something. So the episode 5 introduced a lot of new dynamics, a lot of new characters, at least one character introduced specifically for Steven, I think, to get him busy from this Lucy stuff, from everything. So Tegan, she is a new character. She is of course supportive, but I think she's gonna be as important as at least Molly, you know, because Molly is kind of supportive. Molly, she is kind of a gossip girl. She's just, you know, everywhere talking, spreading rumors, telling everybody that Diana is pregnant, all this stuff. You know, Molly is that kind of supportive, but at the same time, she's everywhere, literally. So in episode 5, Molly was kind of a huge part of that. I felt like in episode 5, Molly was more than just, you know, spreading gossips girl. She basically and Diana, they got into some type of argument, you know, and Diana told some pretty good thing during the conversation, during the pool party, charity party or something. Diana told her, like, Evan, he was always like this, and now you just decided to confront him during this pool party because you realize that he is, like, you know, acting like this, but he was always like this. So she's confronting him right now. You can see that he didn't give a shit about that because they already kind of decided they are casual couple, that they are not anything serious, you know, casual relationship. And she's just confronting him, you know, and Diana told her, like, he was like this from the very beginning, from first time you hooked up with him, and now you just, you know, talking shit about him. And then she told Molly that basically Evan is your Steven. That was always a good phrase, you know, like, I think it's pretty much accurate to describe, like, Steven type of character, like how it can apply to other characters. Talking about, like, Steven, not just like character Steven, but like archetype, you know, Steven's archetype. You can now apply this archetype to other characters and people would understand you. I understand what she's talking about. You know what she's talking about. Because we all know what type of character Steven is, right? Manipulative, all that stuff. But Evan, is he the same as Steven? No, he's not that manipulative. He's more genuine, he's more kind, not that traumatized, maybe from more rich family, obviously. But why she called him her version of Steven? Why she told Molly that? Because it means that Molly putting herself in the position of apparently Diana and Lucy and all those women Steven dated, kind of allowing Evan to be that Steven for Molly, her Steven, you know what I'm talking about. Evan is not the same as Steven, but Molly putting herself in that position as Diana and Lucy were dating Steven. They were in that same position. Belittled, you know, downplayed, degraded relationship. So what happened actually during episode 5? I realized I was kind of wrong talking about Alex and Lucy dynamic only in that specific, you know, romantic maybe direction. I was leading that conversation specifically to the romantic, more kind of healthy type of relationship. But what is actually going on? I realized that maybe I was wrong. And maybe it was too early to make a video like this talking about Alex as already well-known character while we just trying to figure out him. And I figured him out because this episode 5 made everything clear about what Lucy is looking for and what Alex can give her, right? No questions left. Lucy is looking for the same type of relationship Steven was giving her. Steven is able to give her right now, and Steven will always be able to give her. It's like, you know, toxicity, aggressiveness, and belittling her, but once that little glimpse of love in the normal meaning of this word, love, you know, something that is like all people can understand, that love in normal love, like when it's just a little glimpse of that normal love, Lucy basically, she feels like something huge, something like she is not getting from Steven consistently. That little glimpse of that love, for example, when he is not manipulating, when he is not trying to sabotage her, when he's not trying to pressure, you know, when this little moment happening, she's just like, you know, thinking that basically this little moment, it's like enough actually. And all that other like time, it's primarily, I think, toxicity, aggressiveness towards her, and belittling. So what's happening when she found Alex? She asked him specifically to be Steven. She asked him to be Steven. She didn't ask him directly, I want you to be Steven. She asked Alex to be the way he was at the beginning. But in episode 5, for some reason, Alex, he wanted to be just normal himself. He wanted to be just kind, just normal person. Maybe he is this way. Maybe he is not that aggressive like 24/7. Maybe he is not like Steven at all. Maybe he was just trying to kind of start this relationship like this, but now he's wanting this normal relationship, and he wants basically show Lucy that he can be just regular normal person, and it would be good to her, it would be good for everybody as well. But she is not able to accept that. I realized basically that Lucy, coming from that trauma that happened even before Steven, I basically have read that her mother and father, they had some type of drama, and one cheated on another while another was ill or something. You know, something really happened to Lucy even before she and Steven first got together. But her basically behavior, it started pissing me off, specifically in this episode 5, because I remember Leo. You know what I'm talking about? Do you remember Leo, a character from season 2? Do you remember that character, and do you remember how everything started for them? It was exactly the same. Do you remember that? Basically, when Leo, he was kind of relaxed, chill, the same as Alex, as Max from season 1. So Lucy, she is getting every season a new boyfriend, like Max, Steven, or Max, Leo, and now she's getting this dude Alex. And every season is the same. Nobody can give you that same type of aggressiveness and emotions that Steven giving her. But are those emotions, are those feelings healthy? Of course not. It's terrible. It's the worst thing you can ask for. But this is completely different story. If we try to talk about this in depth, it's like psychology and too much complicated, you know. But in general, I know a lot of women, I know a lot of even men who look for the same type of thing that Lucy does. Validation or reassurance, whatever, but she would look for the same type of thing even when she already has somebody like Alex, who is technically, I think, perfectly matching her, not only like physically, they look so good together. Alex, he is just emotionally pretty much good, I think. He's not too much, he's not just, you know, he's not like Leo. Again, Leo was holding his real personality whole time. He was holding that beast inside of him, that aggressive side of him. He was holding that till very ending or something like this. And Leo was holding all that until basically Steven confronted him. Steven confronted Leo to the point that basically Leo beat him, and you remember that, right? So I don't think Alex is holding anything like that. I don't think Alex has anything to hold, like to hide, you know? Alex is pretty much genuine and expressing himself openly. There is nothing to hide for Alex, maybe. But I think Lucy's fucked up personality, she needs to just stop doing that. She needs to stop dating, maybe for some period while she is educating. Maybe she needs to stop seeing anybody. Maybe she stops looking for that, what she's looking for, you know, that emotions. Maybe she stops looking for that, and maybe somebody will come who is more, I don't know, like Steven, but like healthy type of Steven, like not that terrible. You know what I'm talking about? She's not enjoying being that miserable. Nobody can enjoy actually miserable life like that, but I think she just doesn't know, at this point she doesn't know another way where love is prevalent. Again, I'm repeating my words from another video. She doesn't know another way. Alex, he can't show you that way. He wants to show you that way. He told that basically he didn't realize that what they were doing with Lucy, that was coming from a place of trauma. He thought basically that they were just playing around, that they were just, you know, having fun. But now he realized basically that for Lucy it's actually coming from a place of trauma. Of course, she is not like accepting that immediately, yes, I'm so traumatized and this is like why I'm doing that. No, she's not doing that. She is like denying that. But I think at some point, basically, and we will see, at some point Alex, he disappears, he leaves, he just quits this relationship, and Lucy will either again come back to Steven, or she will end up just alone. There's no way that in this season she ends up with Alex, because I already see that they are done. This is why they are not even in the poll. You can see only for Pippa, Diana, Steven, Tegan, Bree, Wrigley, even Evan. I don't know why I call him Evan. He's Evan, right? Evan and Molly. Are Alex and Lucy like done? I don't think they're like completely done, but they may be already gonna be done. By the time we have episode like 7, 8, they are gonna be done. They already they have nothing actually. They have nothing. I just realized all they had, it was driven by Lucy's stupid trauma and her eager for that she had with Steven. And the scene after she came back from Alex, the ending scene from episode 5, perfectly showing you what she is into, you know. I'm not gonna discuss that scene, but you know what I'm talking about. She opened, okay, I'm going to discuss it a little. She opened a message, voice message from Steven, basically where Steven just talking shit about Lucy non-stop. You're dead, you like completely fucked up, you're just terrible, you're dead, you're horrible, you're dead. What she's doing while listening this, you know what she was doing. Because apparently for Lucy it's like working. And Alex, no. He's just too good. There was nothing wrong with Alex, I realized. Nothing wrong with Alex at all. It's all about Lucy and how she just, you know, pursuing her stupid desires. So he gave her coffee, for example, this little scene even showing you what I'm talking about. She gave her coffee like this, and he was just trying to be kind, you know, to show you the other way. Maybe he can be like this, just simple, just, you know, a guy who is just making coffee. I am that guy. She is like, oh, what are you doing? Why you like being weird? What is going on? Something wrong with you. You never made me coffee. She's like completely confused because they started on completely different, dynamic, when basically Alex, he was more aggressive and he was basically doing what Lucy asked for. Like, she asked for that aggressiveness, he was that aggressive. Right now Alex wanna be maybe himself, maybe he's not that aggressive, and he was just playing along with Lucy. So for her it's just throwing off all the vibe, turning off her immediately. She feels like, no, right now it's not that Alex, it's because this Alex is not as Steven right now. It's just, it's Leo, it's Max, but it's not Steven. She doesn't want this Alex. And it's sad, you know, because he is not doing anything wrong. So what do you think? If you try to vote for somebody, you will immediately see the number shows up on the screen. you will immediately see the number for character you voted for. Oh my god, it's too hot. I'm not gonna sit like this. I'm just looking at the pool party and I'm just realizing that basically I'm missing so much parties, outings like this, you know. Even though that was a charity party or something like this, they were raising money by doing this party. And basically all the drinks sold at that party, everything, tickets, drinks, food, everything would go to fundraiser, like all the money they raised during that party. So it wasn't just regular party, pool party or something. All the characters, they were there just because it was a fundraiser, I guess. So it was like initiative of their college or something. So what happened during that party? Actually, I realized that basically the character who introduced this episode 5, who was introduced in this new episode, Tegan, she is not just to make this little scene like for Steven, just to flirt and then nothing, you know. She is not just for nothing here. I think they are trying to kind of set next season or something. Maybe they are trying to set next season, or if this season is the final season, maybe she is there just to actually shake up things a little bit more and to make Steven focused on something else. Maybe he right now he's gonna be into this newcomer, freshman, Tegan. He like approached her during he was in the library. He was just looking for something and he found that basically a freshman, Tegan. After that, basically this scene immediately showing like he is already making move towards Tegan. He like asked her to play a little game in a pool. Evan, he was like, you know, he was actually having fun. Evan and Steven, they were playing with two strangers, I would say, two women first introduced in this episode. They were having fun in the pool, and Molly as well as Lucy, they already noticed basically that Steven and Evan, they like kind of found new woman or something. They immediately paid attention, but Lucy kind of ignored. She didn't make any move towards that. But Molly, of course, Molly immediately she acted so fast. She tried basically to confront Evan. I think that was kind of so unnecessary. Maybe she was trying to kind of embarrass Evan in front of that freshman, you know, like we were having just relationship our last time, like a week ago, you know, and right now you just bring in somebody in this pool, some freshman, you know. She tried to embarrass maybe him a little bit. I like the way Evan basically answered. He was like not giving shit at all, you know, just ignored completely. Also, he told that basically he deleted photos, their mutual photos. So basically what Molly did next, she went to bathroom or like this place to see if she can find Diana to share this new drama, because Molly is always, you know, spreading rumors and creating more drama out of nothing. But right now it's happening really to her. So she went to see Diana and to talk to her about Evan, like how terrible he is, you know. But Diana kind of, she didn't really try to kind of take Molly's side in this situation. She tried basically to show her that Molly basically acting as if she didn't know that Evan was like that from the very beginning. She also compared Evan as her current version of Steven, like Molly's current version of Steven. Like, let's say Molly is Lucy and her Steven is Evan. So basically Diana, she's like realized long ago what type of character Steven is. Maybe she now knows exactly how to distance herself from him. And she, of course, she is right now with Pippa. So she doesn't care technically anymore. She doesn't care. Guys, if you think that basically any of the couples on the poll in the poll, if you think that they are worth making a video, like a short video that contains even characters like Tegan, Molly, Bree and Wrigley, since they were just developing this, I don't know what it was. They were developing something new. And Bree and Wrigley, basically, they are just friends at this point. But do you think that they are gonna be more than friends? Do you think that basically Bree and Wrigley can grow into something bigger than friends? I think Molly, she is gonna be like this all the time during this season. I don't think she's gonna be like good for Evan, because Evan is he's not good match for Molly. You know what I realized about this TV show? I just realized that basically they put together the most uncompatible people. Like, look at Wrigley and Pippa. What the fuck is this couple like? look look at them. Just how you can just say that this is a couple. They don't even look like a couple, you know. They look like brother and like sister or something. I don't know. They put literally the most uncompatible, the most unmatching, like different people, like, and then basically those people, they are just going separate ways because they are just incompatible. Literally, they have nothing in common. Like, so right now when I see basically Evan, when I see Wrigley and Pippa, I think they are brother and sister, like, or something like friends. In any world, they do not seem like a couple, but it could be biased and just L take from me. But I think that basically Bree and Wrigley right now, they seem exactly a couple that I imagine when I see Wrigley and Bree characters. Just look at them. Look at the picture in the corner. Bree and Wrigley. Even they're like, what is called, like, this, like, you know, line. I forgot, bro. Like, even they're like one appearance together, making it feel already like they were actually made for each other. I think they have pretty much good future if they are gonna be together. This is just my feeling. I don't know exactly if it's gonna happen or not, but I feel like this. And when I see, for example, Pippa and Diana, they are also a good match. They good fit. They actually perfectly, yeah, I don't know, they perfect for each other. Not only just visually, but emotionally, everything, like, there, you know. So next couple, when I see Molly and Evan, let's just play this so we can see. When I see Molly and Evan, they kind of seem good together. Let's say I'm just trying to, like, rate, like, couples from that visual perspective, like how they look together, the way they look together, how good they look together, like if they match each other, like if they are vibing together, if they seem like actual couple, if like they giving you that impression, like, you know, they kind of are. Evan and Molly, I think they do make a good couple. I don't think Evan and Molly, they need actually go separate ways. I don't think Evan needs to reunite with Bree. What do you think about this? I realized that basically Evan getting together with Bree was kind of, for me it was kind of, I don't know, rushing, and maybe she will realize that that was a rushed decision, maybe. And she doesn't know the cheating situation just yet. She doesn't know Lucy and Evan slept. Maybe that will change something. But still, I think Molly and Evan, they are a good couple in every aspect. The dynamic, the visual part, everything there. They are a little toxic, like not like Steven and Lucy, but like just a little toxic, just normal dose of toxicity there, like healthy toxicity, if I can say so. So when I see, for example, Diana and Pip, I already told that they are kind of good, and I don't think anything would ever split them in this season, at least. Even Steven's efforts, he was doing some weird stuff like sending photos of Diana, and he is trying to compromise her. I don't know what he's doing, but he is apparently trying to kind of make her rethink the abortion situation. Steven is trying to make Diana keep that baby or something. So he's like, again, he's in his normal, behavior, nothing surprising me. What's next? When I see Alex and Lucy physically, visually, again, visually, they are perfect. Look at Alex. Look at this dude, just. Who wouldn't actually call him the hottest guy of this season? Who wouldn't? If you wouldn't, who would you call that? Maybe Evan, right? Just given Evan's physical shape, his muscles, the way he looks, maybe Evan. But I mean, not just physical form, but his overall personality. I think Alex, he is too good to be just another version of Steven for Lucy. He is too good for that. He cannot replace Steven for Lucy. She cannot be another Steven for Lucy. She can be Alex. He can be better than that. So let's record a little bit here for a video. Maybe we can make another video to clarify more about what's happening between these two. So previously, guys, I thought that Alex and Lucy, they were perfectly matching each other and each other's personality, adding to each other's lives something they were missing. But Right now, I think that episode 5 of Tell Me Lies put everything together. And since you found maybe Alex and Lucy couple looking good together, and maybe they have some future, but we just got a huge revelation about what's actually happening between them. And episode 5 basically puts everything together again. Because this whole time, Lucy, she was just looking for another Steven. She didn't try to appreciate Alex for the person he actually is, for himself. She didn't try to appreciate Alex and his true personality. He didn't want Alex for himself. She wanted Alex for his ability to change, to turn into that type of person she was looking for. And that type of person always was Steven. Why she's doing that? Maybe, like a lot of people traumatized, and a lot of people who got a huge family drama during their childhood. Maybe they like people whose parents, people from split families, people from families with cheating, divorced families. So when you know basically that there is no other way of love, you never experienced another way. You never basically lived differently. Nobody showed you. And when somebody is trying to show you, like Alex, like Leo was trying to show Lucy, like Max was trying to show Lucy, she's immediately stopped being attracted to them, because she is not attracted to them for themselves. She is not attracted to their own personalities. She is attracted to those basically sides of their personalities that resemble her, Steven, that resemble her, that aggressiveness, punishment, belittling, downplaying. You know what I'm talking about? It's not even Lucy just so unique in her trauma. Actually, it's common. And if I were a therapist, psychologist, I would easily explain you everything in the best possible way, but since I'm not, I'm just trying to make it like with simple words possible. So I know exactly that Alex and Lucy, they already done. They already have no future in this TV show. It doesn't matter if you were rooting, if I root for them still, it doesn't matter actually. It doesn't matter how good they look together. For Lucy, it was always secondary. She doesn't care about perfect couple, making a perfect couple together. She doesn't care about his good side of his personality. She doesn't care about the kind side of his personality. She doesn't care about that. And she will not care about that till basically somebody maybe shows her another version of Steven, another Steven that she's looking for. So, since Alex is not that type of person, and since Lucy looking for that type of person, they are never gonna be together. So this means basically this season is already done at this point. There is nothing actually to talk about anymore, I guess. And if we try to talk about more in general, like what final can be, what potentially couples forming right now, new couples, I see pretty much the same dynamic happening to Lucy again. She gets a boyfriend every new season, and she does the same to Max, to Leo, to Alex, and she ends up with Steven again. So I will not be surprised if she ends up with Steven again by the end of this season. This is what she is. This is what Steven is. Maybe they are just like this. Maybe they are just perfect in this chaotic type of relationship, and maybe for Steven and Lucy there is just nothing better currently than this toxic going back and forth together, you know. And Lucy, she realized that being with Alex and being with Steven, it's completely different. She realized that nobody can replace basically that feeling of being with Steven, because Steven giving her everything that basically Steven giving Lucy everything that Lucy was looking for since her maybe childhood. It was even long before Steven. And right now she is just, you know, overcompensating maybe. So it's manifesting like in these little situations, like making coffee for Lucy. It's unnecessary gesture because she didn't ask Alex to make that coffee. She didn't want him to be that kind. She wasn't looking for that type of Alex. But Alex knows that if their relationship just driven by her trauma, as he told basically, he thought that they were just playing around, and he didn't basically think that this is coming from a place of trauma for Lucy. But if it is, coming from a place of trauma. They have no future. He knows that. And he knows that he cannot be every time that same person Lucy attracted to first time they met. He cannot be that because maybe he is not that. But he can be that flexible. He can turn into that guy when she wants. But when he can show her, when Alex basically trying to show her the other side of his personality, maybe that side is more prevalent. Maybe that side is actually who Alex is. She is immediately trying to kind of turn down that shit. She is immediately trying to reverse Alex to that Steven type of person. I think this is crazy because last time I was discussing them, I was like completely into this. I thought basically I thought that Alex and Lucy, I really thought that they are perfect couple. I thought that they are right now like finally they are gonna stay more than just one season, you know. But it's again the same. It's the same. Nothing new actually happening. If you try to think, really just think about it, nothing new happening in this TV show. Nothing new happening at all. It's just going in circles again and again from season 1 to season 3. Nothing happened besides pregnancy, besides shifting partners and going from one person to another. Nothing really happening in this TV show. It's always the same. It's just a bunch of people who going through this like period of their lives, and it's normal. Everybody just went through this, but when you just want something, some development, I don't know, something like change in character's behavior, in his, you know, personality, when you want to see that growth, sometimes it's so hard to see this, especially in this TV show. It's just only a few characters actually have grown since season 1. Diana maybe. I cannot even tell you who else. This is the only person I can say. Diana is the only person who 100% who has grown, who has improved and changed. She was always kind of aside. She was always kind of distant to this group of people, and she was always expressing her disappointment in people's attachment to this group of people. Steven, Evan, Lucy, Bree, all those. And Diana was always kind of distant from those. Maybe this is why she has grown. She was not like attached to this specific group of people. She was not like dependent on them. She was not looking for reassurance or anything. She was just herself. She was solo, and maybe that helped her growing into the person she is right now. So I think Diana for me is like the only character who really changed like drastically, especially her pregnancy. This is a huge challenge. This is even more changing Diana. But you see her reaction, you see at least how she reacted to Molly's outrage about the Evan and her situation in the pool. When Molly confronted Evan, it tried to tell him that basically we are done. Right now we are done, because before this we were not done, apparently. But Evan basically, he thought that they were already done, since they were never more than casual, you know. And right now she is confronting him as if they are a couple, they are together. She's confronting him like, why you just playing along with some woman, because when we were basically having intimacy like a week ago, and you just brought somebody in the pool, like there is nothing happened between us. He's like, okay, and he's just turned around and kept playing along with Steven and that woman, a freshman. So his reaction was just a normal reaction, I think. But her reaction was kind of, she's pissed off, but what Diana told her was actually coming from her experience right now. This was coming from Diana's experience right now, because she is right now grown into this new, better version of herself. Bro, every time I stop recording, I start talking better, and right now I'm gonna record again. So right now, what Diana basically trying to tell Molly about Evan, this is coming from Diana's experience with Steven and her own growth, because she basically has grown from that same girl who was dating Steven. It resembles pretty much current situation between Molly and Evan. This is why she even called Evan Molly's version of Steven, because Molly's simply putting herself in that position of Lucy or Diana when they were dating Steven. They know exactly, maybe Lucy, she is still oblivious, but Diana, she is already changed. She is another Diana. She is not that same character from season 1. So this is why this advice for Molly to just stop confront Evan, because Evan was like this from the very beginning, and he is not trying to be just terrible and aggressive and push back Molly. Evan, he is just himself. He is actually trying to be himself. And they were never exclusive with Molly. They were never more than casual. So there is nothing actually that Molly can, complain about. So this is why this whole situation with Evan in the pool was kind of unnecessary. She created that herself, and she stopped it herself. So we recorded a little bit about Molly right now. If I decide to put Molly in next video, maybe what I just said, it can be useful, you know? Maybe not, I don't know. So what about this couple, Bree and Wrigley? What about them? What do you think about them? How do you think Wrigley and Bree, how they gonna end up? So, nobody expected actually they would go that far. For me specifically, I would never think about Bree and Wrigley. So I don't think they are gonna be together at any point. Maybe at some point when that situation with Lucy and Evan finally revealed, Bree, she's gonna be so upset, and maybe then she's gonna be looking for something, and maybe Wrigley, he's gonna be there for her. This is maybe what is gonna happen for Wrigley and Bree, but I don't think they are gonna grow into just another couple immediately. Even though they have pretty good vibe together. Again, look at their photo. Look at the photo of Bree and Wrigley. Look at their photos. And look at those faces. They perfectly fit each other. They perfectly, like, they even resemble each other in some way. I don't know. At least, basically Bree and Wrigley, they have that same vibe. Like, I don't know how to explain this, but like Evan, he's more about that, I don't know, maybe what Evan and Molly have, and what Bree and Wrigley, it's completely different. Maybe Bree and Wrigley, they are just, you know, comfortable, and they just feel like, you know, that at least that pool scene, it showed perfectly that they are comfortable together. They perfectly I don't know, live in the moment. They are just there. They are just, you know, naturally almost kissed each other. So nobody actually forced anything, right? And when I see Evan and Molly, they are like a little bit more chaotic. They more like, especially Molly, she's forcing a lot. And she is creating drama out of nothing. So it's like the opposite of Bree and Wrigley's situation. But Evan and Molly, they are just, again, I think they are perfectly like that. They do not need to change like completely. I think their dynamic is just perfectly matching their characters, like Molly and Evan. You know what I'm talking about? Because Wrigley and Bree, they are just different. They are more chill, even though Wrigley, he is like, of course, he can be energetic and so like unstoppable, especially at parties. And his humor is just everything. But when it's coming to making situation like this in a pool, making it comfortable for Bree, Wrigley is just perfect conforming people, making people comfortable, making people feel that comfort, you know. Wrigley is just actually perfect at this. He was doing the same stuff with Pippa, I guess. He was doing the same stuff with Bree before, during the photograph course or something, like when they were making those photos together. He's just perfect at comforting people. And Bree, she is kind of the same. She is also good at comforting people. Maybe they do that sometimes, compromising their own needs. And maybe they can be too much doing for others than themselves, but maybe that's what they need right now. The only problem right now is Wrigley currently he is with Pippa, and Bree, of course, she doesn't want to hurt Pippa. She doesn't want to hurt Wrigley. She is a good friend for both. But guys, what happens in episode 5? A new character was introduced called Tegan. 100% Tegan is gonna be a supportive character. Let's record a little bit about Tegan and Steven and their dynamic. Even though they don't have anything yet, it seems like Steven, he is trying kind of to make Lucy jealous. At the same time, Lucy, she is kind of moved on, but emotionally she is still there. She is still not with Alex, but with Steven. Physically she is with Alex, but emotionally she is with Steven still. So seeing Steven with this newcomer, with this new girl, freshman Tegan, it's making kind of Lucy jealous a little, but it's more healthy for Steven. It's more good for Steven to find somebody like this, because I don't think he can hurt Tegan as much as he can hurt Lucy or Diana, because maybe at this point Steven has changed. Maybe he realized something, especially after that pregnancy and Diana's decision to abort his baby. Maybe Steven realized something, and maybe with new people like Tegan, with a new partner, he will try to be different. Maybe it's not. I don't know if it's gonna happen or not. But what if he is gonna be another Steven? For Tegan, at least. So I think we need to see that. We need actually to see that. We don't need this to be just one episode thing. We don't need this to be just a little distraction for Steven, a little distraction for Lucy. I think we need full-on situation, like to see this new Steven, to see another Steven. After he lost his leverage over Diana, he has still those photos. He sends some photos of Diana. By the end of episode 5, we can see that he is still manipulating and he's still trying to do something, but I think we still can see Steven happy with somebody, but not Lucy, of course. Maybe he needs somebody like a freshman just to complete this last year. He is gonna graduate, he is gonna go to so he got accepted to university, right? He is gonna be leaving this place. He is gonna be going to study somewhere because he is already accepted. But Diana told that she is not gonna be studying where Steven is gonna be. She is gonna change her next place specifically because Steven is gonna be there. She is gonna change the whole trajectory of her life because of Steven. She is gonna be just avoiding him and choosing another place to study it. So if we get Steven with a freshman Tegan and stop basically this Lucy bullshit and his manipulations with recording her, with all that stuff, blackmailing, sending photos. If that actually happening, if Steven, and newcomer Tegan, they grow into something serious, I would really happy to see that. I would really happy to see another side of Steven's personality. I never witnessed anything, but that's Steven, basically the same type of Steven he always was since season 1, you know. Even when he was like changing, he was not actually. He was still the same. The only thing I'm really confident in myself, and the only thing I really wish I would have from Steven's personality, the only thing, bro, we need to record again. I'm starting to talk some valuable shit. Let's just turn off music, bro. No, we need just another music. More chill music. Not this. Not this. Not this. So we need Steven moment, this. And we need some song like relaxed. Just chill song, bro, not all that. More chill. Bro, why are all the songs they're like... Yeah, this. So, what was I thinking about? I'm pretty confident in myself, the way I am, but when I see character like Steven, I realize that those types of characters, they have some more than confident. They have something more than just ability to manipulate someone or just to be assertive, to be intense, to be like really like... I'm realizing basically that it's always gonna be too much to be that person, and it's always gonna be not enough to be the opposite of that person. For somebody like Lucy, for her it's always gonna be not enough to be with Alex, and to be with Steven it's always gonna be too much. So I'm realizing basically you always have something in your personality that is like cannot be replaced, that is genuinely just your best, but you always gonna be missing something for other people. You always gonna be lacking something. You always gonna be not enough. Like Alex was only enough for Lucy when he was turning into that mode, aggressive mode, when he was turning into that Steven mode. Once he turned to his own mode, his own personality, once he turned into himself, once he tried to be normal, kind type of Alex, he started lacking that something Lucy was looking for. She immediately lost her interest. And I see that happening throughout my life. When somebody I'm trying to approach, and when I show my true personality from the very beginning, not trying to be somebody, not trying to pretend, when I show people, for example, I met a really attractive, fit, really good shaped woman, like very attractive woman at the gym I'm going to, and I ran into that woman first time after my session, I already done working out, and I had basically that feeling that if I stay a little bit longer and try to like approach or maybe try to catch eye contact, maybe if I try to kind of start talking to her, I had that feeling basically if I do that and I'm gonna be rejected for my personality, for the way I am, for how I coming off, that's clumsy, you know, not as perfectly fit as she is, not like in perfect shape as she is, not looking like a model. But if I try to approach her, I'm gonna do that with my true personality. I'm not gonna be trying to be somebody to meet her expectations, because I don't even know her expectations. Like, I don't even know what she's looking for. I don't even know if she is single or not. But my fear is that if she gonna reject me for my true personality, for my clumsiness, for my, you know, amateur look, because in a gym you can see people like more experienced who feel like perfectly comfortable. They're like in really good shape. They really like, you know, as if they were born in the gym, like they were models their whole lives. And you can see amateurs like me. I'm there just to feel better. I'm not trying to get perfect shape like Evan. You can see how perfect his shape is. His abs, his chest, everything just tells that person basically he just, you know, he knows what he's doing. But when I go to a gym, when I go to work out, when I go to train, I usually do that to feel better. I'm not trying just to become really just super fit person or something like this, or to impress anybody. But at the same time, I'm realizing when I meet somebody super fit, super attractive, super like perfectly shaped, like perfectly put together, I start thinking like maybe this person has the highest standards in what your partner should look like. Maybe she has that, you know, bar put so high. Maybe she has already somebody who is like better than me, at least physically, at least more attractive physically. So all those like thoughts, they are basically getting into my head before even I'm trying to approach that woman. And why I'm talking about this right now, because when I see basically how people like Lucy, they look for some type of person, some type of character, and they know exactly what they want. And if they basically find somebody who is not that type of person they were looking for, they trying to make that person be that. They trying to ask, they trying to push them towards that. Maybe force even. Not like physically, but verbally, you know. So my big fear, if that person to whom I'm so attracted, maybe that woman in a gym, a stranger that I have never approached, my fear is that if I approached her and we started maybe we started dating, or we started like seeing each other, and she's trying to push me towards something I'm not, towards somebody I never was. She's trying to change me. She's trying to make me somebody I don't want to be. Because initially she was looking not for me, she was looking for specific character, specific personality she likes. But since we got together and maybe something actually attracted her in me, but she knew from the very beginning that she needed something else. She needed another person. She needed not me. She needed somebody else. And right now she tries to switch me into that person, into that mood, into that person she was looking for initially. So my fear is the same, not the same, but my fear is, will that character, will that person accept me for myself, or will that person try to change me throughout the course of our potential relationship? Should I be myself from the very beginning, and no matter what? Of course I should. Everybody should. You never should change yourself to fit somebody's perception of perfect partner or whatever. Nobody needs to switch into another person. I mean, nobody needs to become somebody they don't want to be just to please that other person or to impress that other person. So, two things fighting in my head. One thing is saying that basically, if you want to approach that woman, you already completed your session, you already worked out, you know you have nothing to do. Like, you don't need to force yourself to stay longer and to be around her just to see if eye contact established, or if she gave you look, if she pays attention. You don't need that. But you can do that because you are confident enough, and you can see if basically there is something, if you have potential with that woman. You can stay, you can do more push-ups, you can stay longer, you can basically, introduce yourself maybe. So this is what one side of my personality telling me, that is more like confident maybe, and that personality, that side of personality that already knows what I need to do. I've completed my training, I need to go home. I don't need to impress, I don't need to stay, but if that happens naturally, this is okay. This is what my like confident and one type of personality says. Another side of my personality is saying, see that woman, she is so attractive. Look at her. Look at how she is moving. Look at her exercising. You need to stay. You need to show something. You need to be around her. You need to act like you are confident. You are a dominant person. You need to be there because she wants that. Maybe I don't even know if she wants that. I don't even know if she cares. She definitely comes to gym to exercise. She doesn't care about anything but her own insecurities. All she pays attention to is her reflection. All she knows, her insecurities and how to work on that. All she cares is her own shape, her own body. But no matter what, you can make that woman notice yourself. So that other side of my personality is like saying, even though you completed your training and you want to go home, no, it doesn't matter. You still have time. You need to stay. You need to show your presence. You need to stay longer. It doesn't matter if basically you will get ignored completely and you will waste your time. You need that reassurance. You need like to prove yourself that you know, you didn't like chicken out. You didn't leave that place just because some beautiful woman appeared. You showed your, true male personality, like you confident because you just, trained. Now you like bumped, energized, like more likely she will ignore you, but you will show her that basically you are the dominant, you are like alpha male, you know what I'm talking about. So, and what side I'm choosing when somebody just appears and I'm so attracted and I don't know how to act in this situation. Last time I chose just to leave because I wasn't sure even how to act at all. I wasn't sure if that person came alone or if she came with somebody. So I decided just to remove myself from that situation and to leave the gym before even that person realized I existed. Before even that person realized I was there, I decided to remove myself, to never check, to never try, to never see if something between us potentially can be there. So I see like this situation happening throughout my life multiple times. There were situations when I should have maybe acted more insistently. I should have been more insistent, more aggressive, like Steven, more like he's acting with this woman Tegan. he sees basically she's kind of ignoring him, but at the same time his insistent personality may be something that I'm missing. He is showing that he doesn't care how she reacts. He doesn't care what she thinks about him. She basically shows ignorance at the beginning. He shows basically that she doesn't care about Steven. In that library scene, you remember they were basically talking, not even talking, they were just looking at each other, but there wasn't any actual like conversation, good conversation. But Steven, he was already sure that basically he can and he wants to get to know that woman better, Tegan. It's like he always listens only to that side of his personality that is more confident, that is like, for me, sometimes not accessible for me. Sometimes that side of my personality is just, you know, turned off. And I only have another side of personality that is like not that confident, undecisive, like, you know. But I want to have that access, that side of personality always available for me. I want to have that 24/7. I want to be insistent. I want to be like acting like Steven in that situation, but consistently, not just a single situation. When he approached that woman, Tegan, when they started playing in the pool, they already connected. He didn't care about anything. Maybe he cared about Lucy and to make her jealous. Maybe this is why he didn't care about Tegan's reaction. Maybe he didn't care about being rejected by Tegan because he already knows there is at least one person who cannot reject him. It's Lucy, right? So when you have somebody whom you rejected already, you don't really care about if somebody rejects you, because that other person you rejected, that person still in your proximity. You can still hurt that person, you can still make that person jealous. So you like not thinking about another person in another reaction, negative reaction. You don't care, you just don't care about that. But I cared when I tried to approach that woman. I didn't even try to approach her because I cared too much about her reaction. I cared about what she would think about me if I approach her, if I try to establish eye contact, if I tried to talk to her. I cared about her reaction and what she would think about my shape, my physical form, since I'm more skinny than like average person in that gym, you know. Maybe I'm not your type, maybe we're not just on the same level. All that in my head already before even I tried, you know. So why Steven didn't really care? He approached immediately Tegan, he really didn't care. But I cared. But I don't wanna. I want to be the same careless, but I don't want to hurt anybody. This is like Alex, who tried to explain Lucy that he doesn't want to hurt people. He doesn't want to hurt Lucy. Even being the way she wants, the way she enjoys, that aggressive, he still feels like he can potentially hurt her. This is something I'm talking about. I don't want to be just somebody I'm not, but sometimes maybe you need to train, you need to practice that side of your personality that basically you want to be more prevalent, more consistent. The type of personality that you are missing in situations like this, like me not being able immediately make a decision about whether I want to approach somebody or not, if I just want to go home or if I want to stay longer. If I had that decision made already, I would have never rethought. I would have never thought twice. I would have never blamed myself for not doing that. So I don't know where this conversation goes anymore. It's like coming from my heart, but at the same time it's not related anymore to the TV show. But my whole point is, I don't think you need or I need to change. I don't think that we need to change for other person to be happy. I think that we need to change for ourselves. If Lucy or anybody in your life looking for somebody you are not, they need to go. They need to change. They need to basically prioritize you they need to prioritize you right now, not that other person they were looking for. Lucy has to appreciate Alex for himself, for his true personality, and not for his flexibility, not for his ability to become another version of Steven she's looking for. And I think when you realize it, when I realize it, when I know that basically I don't care what people looking for, I care what they can see in me, in my own personality, and if they don't really like it, they need to go and find somebody. I don't care. You don't need to change for them to like you. I don't need to change myself for other person to like me or to be with me. If that person was looking for somebody else from the very beginning, it's not my fault. It's not Alex's fault. It's not your fault. It's that person's fault. She was not confident enough to say no, to tell no to say no because she was not confident enough and she decided to try. Maybe it's something similar to her Steven, to what she was looking for. Maybe it was something she would like. But it turns out to be different, and now she doesn't like it. And now she thinks that Alex needed to stay the same, that Alex needed to stay the same Alex she liked. Now she thinks basically that she is okay, but he needs to stay the same. He doesn't need to be kind. He doesn't need to be maybe more himself, but he needs to be that same Alex she liked. But she never even tried to find his true personality. Maybe that Alex that she never basically tried to like is the exact person she needs right now. Maybe she doesn't need that aggressive type of Alex. Maybe she doesn't need to make him another version of Steven. Maybe she needs him for himself. And since Alex understands that he is not going to change for Lucy and to please her whims, to stay just another version of Steven for Lucy. Alex doesn't need that, and he will go because this is the only right decision. If she doesn't like him for himself, he needs to go and find somebody else. And she needs to either come back to Steven or to stop basically this circle. So this is what I'm trying to understand the same basically as any other person. But I'm trying to basically to talk about my own experience, like this gym situation, you know. Maybe I'm not getting it completely correct from psychological point of view. I'm not maybe that, but I think I understand the whole point of this Lucy trauma, of her past, of how she is now choosing her partners, why she choosing and why she asking them to do certain type of things. So I think we've done here. I already recorded enough for next video. I already recorded a lot, I guess. That gym situation, it's not just that single situation, you know. I can basically think about that because it happened just yesterday, but it was happening my whole life actually. And that one was just recent. This is why it's so stuck in my head, you know. I know it's nothing actually, nobody would ever just fixate on this. Just some attractive woman in the gym. It's so common, you know. Every second woman attractive especially in gym. But since basically I know exactly why I'm not able to immediately decide whether I want to go in just to talk to her and maybe ask your number, whatever, Since I know why it's happening, this is what bothered me more. Maybe I don't know how to work on it, but I know how to not to try to be somebody else, how to not to pretend, how to stay true myself. Everybody can do that, It's like just no overcompensating, no pretending, just pure yourself. And maybe this is the only decision, maybe this is the only right answer to that. When you just completely yourself, you don't care at all what that other person would think. It doesn't matter how beautiful, how attractive that person is, you just don't care. So what we can do now, since there is no topic actually that I want to talk about, actually too much already said about this whole situation with Alex Lucy. I feel like I'm gonna play, of course. What else? This is the only thing I want to do right now. Like, genuinely. If only it connects me immediately, Okay, so it has like it has literally 4 gigabytes of update. So we gotta wait long. We're gonna wait a while till it's updated. But while we're waiting, we can do something else, I guess. There is another situation, a whole stream like about TV show, and when I'm trying to add something like a video game at the end, it becomes too long and YouTube decides to like YouTube making like limited monetization or something for too long videos, too long streams. And I'm not sure if I need to just streams longer than like 3 hours, 4 hours, because it's like apparently it's too much and not everybody watching all like even not everybody even watching like half of an hour or 20 minutes, and 4 hours it's like too much. But like other streamers, other YouTubers, they usually do those long streams, and because they were streamers from the very beginning, they were basically building their audience, always like interacting, always chatting, always like engaging people. And I was doing basically music videos for like 4 years or something, and I didn't really care about building community or something. So right now I'm really suffering from this, because even now you can see nobody chatting, nobody feels even like chatting or something. Even if I'm talking about something genuine and one person watches, that person still thinks basically that it's not worth to chat, to open mouth and say something like hello, and maybe to share something similar. Nobody actually feels need. Nobody feels like chatting. So this is why I don't know, like sharing something so personal for me, it's like depleting my energy pretty much. And when I see that nobody actually giving any feedback, I'm like, I'm disappointed. And I'm disappointed, first of all, in myself, because I think I'm doing something wrong, and then I'm disappointed in the whole thing, that basically channel is right now ignoring me. But I was like doing content for 4-5 years and consistently uploading. People basically liked it, people chatted, people appreciated my music videos. They actually liked so much my music videos. But once I started like making something original, like personal, I realized basically we didn't build any community. There is just nobody. I have no idea how to make this right now, how to basically rebuild something when we already have 400,000 subscribers. It's so difficult to rebuild this. It's like impossible. I don't want to start a new channel. I will never do that, I guess. And I'm here for myself. I'm not gonna just switch back to the reused content, of course. So I have like this fucking, period when I'm doing a lot, but nothing really pays off, nothing really paying off. When I putting a lot of effort in video, like sitting, editing it like 2-3 days, and then uploading that video and see no feedback, it's like defeating my joy, defeating any desire to keep going. I just don't know how to basically make people, or if it's happening naturally, what can make people actually just come here as they used to before, when I was doing music videos, when I was like not talking about like serious but showing my work, my editing. They were like chatting even a little, but now they are not chatting at all. I don't know what happened. Maybe I just did something wrong and algorithms just ruined. I don't know what's happening at this point anymore. But I know what I can do still. I can still keep doing this content. I can keep doing streams and videos and consistently upload. But it's more difficult every single time. It's more difficult with no feedback. It's more even difficult because every new video is just completely ignored by my subscribers. I mean, I need to get my subscribers back, like people who subscribed, people who came for music videos, people who came for something, but now they are missing that. Maybe I need to get them back somehow. I don't know how. I need them to finally turn on notifications, or at least to check my uploads. Maybe I did something they would like, but they never check it. This is the problem. So like YouTube recommending only when it sees that your subscribers, your followers, they click your new uploads, they check your new content, they actually care. But when they don't, YouTube sees that and it stops recommending your content further to new viewers, because your current viewers, your followers, they didn't care to click on that video. YouTube thinks basically that other people, they would as well skipping it, not clicking on it. So YouTube thinks that basically it's bad, the video is bad, no point of recommending it new viewers, since basically your viewers you already have, they ignoring it. You know what I'm talking about? So it's like fucking trap, And before I got back those 400,000 people who subscribed, before I got even half of them chatting or watching, I'm gonna be never like fully enjoying being a content creator, because I always feel like I'm deprived of a huge part of being a content creator. Like, I'm missing on something that basically other creators fully embrace right now, enjoy, like, I don't know, feedback maybe. When they know no matter what they stream, no matter what they upload, they will be watched. No matter what they do, they will be there, and all those followers, they will be there. They know that. This is why they do like talk for like 2-3 hours and everybody watches still, and they only like start playing or like they start like real content after like 3 hours of talking, you know? If only I have that power to like switch back and tell all those people who subscribed initially, do not do that if you're not gonna be here, if you're not gonna appreciate me for myself. When I start doing original content with myself, if you're not gonna appreciate, do not subscribe, please. If I did that, if I can go back and tell that people, if I really just come back and just say, right now, if you're just subscribing, think about it. Are you really appreciating my presence, or do you only enjoy some videos that like faceless with no personality in it? Do you really want to subscribe for me, or do you really want to subscribe because you just liked one video and you have no idea what is gonna be like? So I'm here myself. If you like it and you're subscribing for that, not just for a specific TV show or something, specific video, I know that at least we have one person who really cared about me, not about just coming here for titles of new episodes of new TV shows, where to find them, where to watch new TV shows. If people actually come for myself or me, not for that, this way we can build a community. I want people come for that, not for titles, not for links, not for asking me where to watch. Never ask me where to watch TV show, please. Never ask me where or any link. It's actually pissing me off. Because it feels like this is the only thing you care about. So since this is the only thing you care about, just go and find yourself. I spend my time, I found it, right? So you can do the same. I can find, if I like something, if I want to watch something, I will find it, and you can find it. But I'm here not for you to get titles, to get upcoming series, to get like links or something. I'm here because I wanna be myself and entertain people the way I am. I'm not gonna just change. I'm not gonna be somebody you basically looking for. It's the same stuff. Like, again, it's the same stuff. It's the same situation we were discussing, like with Lucy and Alex. She got together with Alex. She realized basically he can be soft and not as aggressive as she thought he was. And he is like immediately losing her interest. It's a huge turn off for Lucy to see Alex this kind, this soft. You know what I'm talking about? He liked him initially for one thing, and now she's missing that thing, and he's showing you another side of himself. So right now I'm showing you my true personality. I'm talking about personal things, personal situations, like very personal, that I never shared with even my family, nobody. But for those who came initially not for this conversation, but just for compilations, reused, all those videos, music videos, reused content, this is what it's called. For all those who came for that, for them it's like the same. They see that basically, like Lucy, they came for one thing, and then they cannot get that thing they came for, and they losing their interest. So what I can do in this situation, let's imagine I'm recording again, because I again start talking. Let's imagine the situation with Lucy and Alex. It's so familiar to me because 5 years ago or something, like even long ago, when I started my channel, I prioritized one type of content, and I wanted to show people my art, my editing. I didn't care about my opinion or my personality to show that on my channel. I tried to show people only perfect videos, edited and followed by good music. I never actually cared about showing my personality on this channel, but once I started doing that, I realized once I started showing my personality on this channel, I realized basically that most of those people who came initially for getting music videos, getting free content, quick compilations of seasons or something like this, I realized that people who came for specific content, they never actually thought what personality could be behind this, who stayed behind those videos, who put his effort into these videos. They never actually thought about true personality behind those videos. They only cared about final product. They only cared about music videos in its final stage. And once they basically witnessed some person revealed himself on this channel, they started basically asking themselves, why we even subscribed to this? We didn't ask for this. We were looking for music videos. We liked those music videos, and now we're getting this. So in Lucy and Alex situation, in their situation, Lucy, she is, let's say, my viewers right now, my subscribers who subscribed years ago. Lucy appreciated Alex for his aggressiveness, for his ability to basically switch moods to become more aggressive, to resemble that Steven's aggressiveness. So it's easy turning on Lucy. So let's say my viewers, they are like Lucy. They used to those music videos, that fast-paced entertainment. I was able to give them those videos for 4 or 5 years. I was doing that consistently, and I was losing and never basically thinking about my true personality. I was losing my true personality in the process because I never thought that I needed to show my personality in those videos. All I cared about to give them what they wanted. I was like Alex. I was able to be like an unknown person, unrevealed personality, anonymous, who is just giving people what they want, like Alex gave Lucy what she wanted. She wanted to see that specific Alex, and she got that. Once Alex started to reveal his true personality, Lucy immediately lost her interest. This is exactly what happened to me. That was exactly what happened to me. And that was basically happening for 2-3 years. Once I started going live, once I started showing my personality, my presence on this channel, once I basically let people know I'm existing, they started looking for something else. They didn't associate my personality with those passionate videos, with those music videos, because maybe they cared more about characters from those videos, from those music videos. They more cared about affection they have from those videos. And they cannot get the same affection from my personality because I cannot be the same type of person like those characters from my music videos. Currently there is no music video on my channel, but there is my whole personality and my whole life put on this channel. I invested literally 6 or 7 years of my life into this channel. I will never regret it, but I'm still not able to fully embrace and enjoy being a content creator. But I want to, and I hope that at some point we will find the traction and that I will not have to change myself like Alex was changing himself to please Lucy and her whims. I hope that basically for me and my viewers, my old viewers, all those people who subscribed years ago, there is something that will trigger everybody go back and check my new video, turn on notification, click on my new stream, send message in the chat, react, like it or not, but I want to see that those people still here. I want to see them here, and I want to see them here for me. Like Alex wanted to see Lucy appreciate his true personality. He wanted Lucy to see his true personality, to see the true Alex, not that Alex that she wanted, not that Alex that she tried to make him be. I want to be able to entertain people the way I am. Like Alex wanted to be good for Lucy the way he is, without changing himself the way she wants. If Alex is not aggressive in his nature, if Alex, my God, let's imagine, if he is not aggressive in his nature, if he is not that person, if he is not that person Lucy asks for, he will need to show her that his true himself can be also good, can be also romantic, can be also something maybe she's looking for. It can be also good for Lucy, for both of them. Oh, so I'm done. I cannot put together any more words. I'm like done completely. So guys, I think we are done for today, literally, because I'm tired, and I think I told you everything I wanted about TV show, about myself, about my experience, what I currently, what I try actually to achieve, like to make this channel finally like live, to make it alive. I don't want to be live streaming and seeing nobody chatting. It's not enjoying for anybody. So I'm not stupid, I'm just trying to understand how to change it. So help me please to change it. This is all I'm asking for. I'm not asking to donate me. Only if you can, of course, do that. But I'm not asking for anything but a little chat, a little conversation with my viewers. This is all I'm asking. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.